thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to step outside my comfort zone and to give a talk on the fly. I gave a presentation to a group called Snow Moms. It's Snohomish County Mothers of Multiples. I ran into a woman at the church, my church, where they meet. She's a woman I know from when I was a kid. And I told her what I do, that I'm a life coach, and she emailed me not long after that and said, would you be willing to give a talk to our group? And they wanted the topic to be change. So I developed a talk on change. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is I came up with a hierarchy of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways that we approach change in our lives. And change is coming at us all the time. It's definitely a constant. It's something that it's happening inside us and outside us at all times. And we all face change in different ways. You know, changes are from as small as, you know, as small as doing something like this, stepping up at a moment's notice, or as large as what's going on, you know, with the economy. There's always uncertainty in the economy. And it's just the ways that we approach change that determines the outcome of our process in the middle of that change. So the first way I came up with we approach change is to simply ignore it. By ignoring change, we know it's there, but we don't do anything about it. We don't recognize it. We just flat out, I'm not going to do anything about that. And that is at the bottom of the hierarchy because it's a completely wasted opportunity. It doesn't provide us any way to learn anything about ourselves or anything about the change. We just flat out ignore it. And when we ignore things, they typically come back to haunt us again in the future. So that's not a good way to approach any change. The second way, a little bit better, and I'll tell you why, is we resist change. And the ways we resist change is, I like to use the analogy of like chocolate cake. Okay, if there's a piece of chocolate cake there, I can't ignore it because it's there. It's not something that I can just, I see it, I already recognize it, it's there. But I can resist it, and by resisting that chocolate cake, I resist the urges inside me. So when we resist change or something along those lines, it's something within us that we're actually resisting. That resisting is better because we actually know a little bit more about our relationship to the change in order to be able to resist it. The next way is to redirect it, and this is an internal redirection within our mind. I used the example of an illness of a loved one. It's not something that we can ignore because it's the illness of a loved one. I mean, it's reality. And it's not something we can necessarily resist because it's not happening to us. It's happening to someone that we care for. But we can redirect our perception of it within our mind to be able to look at it in a different way, to, in a sense, I see it as, in that situation, to take away the anguish that it's causing us. We understand that, you know, this was going to happen outside of our control, and there's nothing we can do about it except to make it easier on us, which is done by redirecting it in our mind. Now we're moving further, and we're getting to more productive ways. The next way we approach change is to accept it. And this is to say, okay, this change was going to happen outside of our control. There was nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do about it is to accept that it is the reality, and to understand that it's part of our life now, will always be part of our life. We're going to move on with it. The next way we approach change, unwanted or unwelcome change, another way to put it, is to welcome it, is to take this change, smile in its face, and to say to the change if we want. We can't make a change feel welcome because it's not a human being, but we can, inside of us, look at the change from a place of saying that this is welcomed into my life now. And what it essentially does, the way I look at it, by welcoming something into our life, if it's an unwelcome stranger in your home, somebody comes to your door wanting you to give them money, well, you know right away that relationship is unwelcome, unless it happens to be a little kid selling cookie dough, which my daughter did, and everyone welcomed that, of course. But think of someone else who comes to your door who wants you to donate to their cause. It's an unwelcome situation, mainly because, one, they're disturbing your peace, and two, they come to you with an understanding, with expecting that they are going to be somewhat unwelcome by you. So by welcoming them, what it essentially does is it disarms them. It makes them feel like they have a place with you at that moment. It's the same thing with the change. And like I said, went way too long. The last way is to integrate change into our life, and that is just to take the change that comes along and to make it part of our life and move on with it. So, ignore, resist, redirect, accept, welcome, and integrate, and essentially be live.